What's up again, folks? Welcome to another edition of Pro Wrestling Talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram, coming at you here on the U to the Tube. So, just finished watching WWE NXT WarGames. This is pretty much the last pay-per-view of the year for WWE. And it takes place on NXT 2.0. So, we had 5 matches for this event. And I have to say, it was a pretty decent pay-per-view. It was pretty decent. I actually enjoyed pretty much a good bit of it. The matches were pretty decent. So, anyway, I just kind of wanted to give my thoughts on each match and just kind of go through. But let's get started. So we kicked off the start of War Games with the women's War Games match. So we had War Games match in the beginning and a War Games match as the main event. So started off with the women. So the teams. This was Dakota Kai's team, which is made up of Dakota Kai and all 3 members of Toxic Attraction, which is Mandy Rose, Gigi Dolan, JC Jane. Alrighty? And they went up against Kaylee Ray's team, which was made up of Kaylee Ray, Raquel Gonzalez, Io Shirai, and Cora Jade. Now, remember, Kaylee Ray's team won the advantage ladder match when Kaylee Ray was able to win against Dakota Kai and snatch the briefcase in the ladder match, so her team gets the advantage. So, to start this off, the first 2 ladies in the cage were Kaylee Ray and Dakota Kai, so they started us off while the other ladies were in their respective shark cages. So, of course, it started off pretty intense between Dakota Kai and Kaylee Ray, which I love both of these ladies. These ladies are excellent in the ring. And, of course, next one that came to enter the ring was Cora Jade. She came in with her skateboard. Now, what I thought was kind of lacking, her and Kaylee Ray didn't really capitalize with the 2-on-1 advantage like I was hoping they would. Like, it was very weak. Like, this part of the match was kind of weak. Because I felt like they really should have really took advantage of the 2-on-1, but they didn't. And then, of course, Gigi Dolan enters in to kind of balance it out. It's 2-on-2 now. And, it started to pick up a little bit more. And then Io Shirai entered the ring, and some of the ladies, as they were getting ready to enter the ring, before they entered in, they would throw weapons in there like trash cans, kendo sticks, chairs, tables, the works. And, of course, that's what Io Shirai did, for example, although it didn't take too long after she entered to pretty much get knocked out. But yeah. It was really interesting segment there. JC Jane was the next one to enter the fray. And then the last one to enter the fray for Kaylee Ray's team was Raquel Gonzalez. And of course, the last one to enter for Dakota Kai's team was Mandy Rose, the leader of Toxic Attraction. So, we had a very crazy spot during this match where I believe it was Gigi Dolan stacked up on a table and Cora Jade, which is pretty much, one of the young ones in this match. Cora Jade did pretty much a senton bomb onto Gigi Dolan through the table, and it looked like she landed awkwardly on her shoulder. But, and supposedly it dislocated her shoulder. 1 second. And supposedly dislocated her shoulder. So then, crazy thing happened. As she was going over to the entrance door where the medical team was, Io Shirai goes over to the medical team. It's like, no, don't stop anything. I got this. Brought her back and pretty much popped her arm and shoulder back into place. Like, now I don't know if this was a work or if this was real, but I mean, the injury looked legit. But Io Shirai popped Cora Jade's shoulder back in the socket, back in place. And I was just like, whoa. Is that a work or was that real? Like, and I'm just thinking, wow, that might have been real. But yeah, so they actually had that segment. And then let's see. And the funny thing was, of course, Io Shirai had her moments, flying off the cage like she usually does. But I mean, this was really back and forth, and I think Mandy Rose, I think she did a pretty good job for her first WarGames match. I think she did a pretty good job. Nothing too crazy, but I think she did a pretty good job. I do. But yeah, for the most part, Raquel Gonzalez, she did her thing. And even the other members of Toxic Attraction did pretty good. JC Jane, she made it through. Gigi Dolan did her thing. Dakota Kai had a lot of action. Kaylee Ray. I think overall the ladies did well. Like I said, Cora Jade was kind of down for a bit, but there was even a segment where even with a 4-on-1 advantage, Cora Jade with one arm just fighting off the ladies with the kendo stick and just trying to hang in there. You know what I mean? And then sure enough, after a Chikunga bomb from Raquel Gonzalez to JC Jane, Cora Jade gets the pin on JC Jade and bam, gets the victory for her team. Like, I was honestly kind of shocked, but hey, Cora Jade ended up getting the victory for her team. So the winners ended up being Cora Jade, Raquel Gonzalez, Kaylee Ray, Io Shirai. Part of me originally was thinking that the other team would win, and then that would probably be the last that we see of maybe Io Shirai and maybe even Raquel Gonzalez. But no, I guess they're going to keep riding with the Raquel Gonzalez Dakota Kai rivalry. Not sure what they're going to do with Io Shirai, but I mean, with her being on the winning side, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they still plan on keeping her in a storyline connected with Zoe Stark until she recovers, which I'm sure it will be a while, or if she'll just go back to being a single star, maybe try to go after the NXT Women's Championship and fail. I don't know. I do kind of wonder what they'll do with Io Shirai. And word is Cora Jade might even get a NXT Women's Championship title shot. They could work a storyline with her and Mandy Rose. But yeah, I'm very curious to see what they do. And then, of course, they announced the NXT New Year's Evil show for January 4th. So, definitely looking forward to that. Should be good. But, yeah. That was a pretty good women's WarGames match to kick the show off. I enjoyed it. And congratulations to Cora Jade. Cora Jade looking good in this match, taking some high risks. So, hey, got to give it up to her. Okay. And then we had the tag team title match for the NXT Tag Team titles, we had Imperium defending the titles against Kyle O'Reilly and Von Wagner. Now, for me not being a big fan of the team of Kyle O'Reilly and Von Wagner, they did good. They did good in this match. This was actually ended up being a tag title match I ended up enjoying. And I wasn't very hyped about this matchup because, as folks remember, I was really going to be more focused on both WarGames matches. But I have to say, this tag title match was actually pretty good. There were a lot of close calls. Fabian Eichner showing his high-flying skills. Doing a springboard moonsault, coming off the turnbuckle. Fabian Eichner, that dude can fly. He's not just all strength. That dude can fly. Saw some submission attempts from Kyle O'Reilly. Looked like he was gonna make Fabian Eichner tap out. And sure enough, while Kyle O'Reilly had Fabian Eichner into the triangle choke, which he almost passed out, was able to lift him up, get the tag in to Marcel Bartel. They hit the European bomb and was able to pin Kyle O'Reilly and retain the NXT tag titles. But I have to say, that was a surprisingly great match. I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. Did not expect it to be that good. And then afterwards, after the match was over with Kyle O'Reilly and Von Wagner in the ring, it looked like Von Wagner, was hyping the crowd up. You started to hear "thank you, Kyle" chants and such. And then the strangest thing happened. Von Wagner tried to hit the ropes and attack Kyle O'Reilly, but Kyle O'Reilly ducked and hit him with a counterattack of his own. It was able to hit the axe and smash, taking out Von Wagner. And Kyle O'Reilly flashed the... I'm going to do this right. There we go. Flashed the Undisputed Era sign after he did that beatdown on Von Wagner. And I was just like, oh snap. Oh snap. Does that signal something? But I think if you read his lips, he was saying Undisputed Era, I guess, are immortal or something like that. It sounded like that's what he said. And then, of course, he did the suck it pose. But, wow. I thought that was funny. Thought that was really funny. And then in a backstage interview, Kyle O'Reilly has challenged Von Wagner to a match, I believe for this Tuesday, in a steel cage match. So a match in a steel cage. So, I don't know, y'all. Maybe this is setting up... Maybe this is how they write off Kyle O'Reilly. With this match between him and Von Wagner in a steel cage. Because I don't think he's re-signed. I don't think he's re-signed. I could be wrong, but something tells me this is probably going to be the way they write off Kyle O'Reilly. By having Von Wagner pretty much smash him in this steel cage match. We'll see what happens, but him doing all that and flashing the Undisputed Era sign says something. I think this could signal that he could be leaving WWE and perhaps reunite with Bobby Fish and even with Adam Cole. Although I'm always going to be happy for a Red Dragon reunion. But it could be he reunites with both Adam Cole and Bobby Fish in AEW. Well, we'll see. It's not impossible. Next up, we had the hair versus hair match, which was Duke Hudson versus Cameron Grimes. This match... I gotta be honest, this match was a little longer than I thought it was gonna be. But it was actually pretty good. It was pretty good and longer than I thought it was gonna be. And it was back and forth. it really could have gone either way. And, you know, the story being told by these two has been pretty good and funny at the same time. But at the end of the day, I was very happy to see that Cameron Grimes was able to get the pin on Duke Hudson and win the match. And therefore, Duke Hudson, as the loser, must get his head shaved. And he tried to fight off Cameron Grimes for a second, but sure enough, Cameron Grimes was able to get the upper hand, hit him with the cave-in to knock him out. Got him in the chair, but I was so bummed. He only got to cut, like, maybe a little bit off before he let Duke Hudson run off. You know, so he really didn't get his head shaved, you know. He didn't really get his head shaved. He just maybe got 3 or 4 swipes, and that's it. So, was kind of bummed about that. I really would have loved to have seen him get his head shaved off. You know what I mean? So, I mean, kind of a weak ending. Kind of a weak ending. You know, usually in the past, you know, folks usually knock the other out and is able to, you know, shave them off. Or at least get a lot done to the point where all they got to do is finish it off backstage. But, yeah, it was kind of a weak ending. It's kind of a weak ending. But, anyway, Cameron Grimes with the victory. It'll be interesting to see if they continue this storyline or if this pretty much puts an end to it and, you know, they go to other storylines. Next up, we have the NXT Cruiserweight Championship match. Roderick Strong defending against Joe Gacy. I honestly didn't really care about this match. Like, I mean, yeah, I watched it, but I really didn't care about this match. I didn't. I really didn't. But Roderick Strong got the victory. Yeah. Retains the title. Like I said, I really did not care about this match at all. I mean, I was thinking there was a possibility Joe Gacy might win and maybe eventually the title gets a name change, which still could happen, the name change part. But honestly, this was a match that really shouldn't have happened. Because, I mean, Joe Gacy's not a cruiserweight. So, I really didn't care for this match. I really didn't. You know, and that's just me being honest. I didn't really care for this match. Okay, next up we have, let's see. We have the main event. So, main event. The men's WarGames match. So, we had Team Black and Gold versus Team 2.0. So, Team Black and Gold was made up of Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Champa, DIY, LA Knight, and the Bruiserweight Pete Dunn, going up against 2.0, which was Braun Breaker, Grayson Waller, Carmelo Hayes, and Tony D'Angelo. Now, Braun Breaker defeated Johnny Gargano in the Advantage Ladder match, so therefore Team 2.0 got the advantage. So, Carmelo Hayes and Johnny Gargano were the first two to start off. Not to mention, Johnny Gargano came out to his old Rebel Heart theme music, so thought that was pretty cool. But came out to that. But yeah, we started off with Carmelo Hayes and Johnny Gargano, so they went back and forth. It was really good. Grayson Waller of 2.0 enters in next. And of course he had on like the pro boxer white and blue trunks. Let's see, after that, Pete Dunn came in next, and I tell you, he wore out Grayson Waller's fingers. Oh man, he worked on those digits all throughout this match. It was crazy. Like I felt like Pete Dunn was I'm gonna make Grayson Waller the focal point, and he stuck to that because he was wearing him out. All right, Tony D'Angelo came in next, and then LA Knight came in, and I gotta be honest with you, I part of me was thinking throughout this match at some point LA Knight's gonna turn on the team, but you know what? It didn't happen. It didn't happen. He stayed legit to black and gold, which I mean, he had been a heel since he debuted, so with him being kind of on the face team, definitely says something. But LA Knight came in. Braun Breaker was the last to come in for 2.0. And then, of course, the last one for Black and Gold was Tommaso Champa. Had a lot of spots there. Tommaso Champa with the running knees to all four members with the trash can. You had Grayson Waller with a diving elbow drop through the table spot. That was pretty cool. Got a lot of air on that elbow drop, too. You even had Pete Dunn take a kendo stick, put it up against Grayson Waller's ear or face and was just jamming it down into him. You even had Tony D'Angelo take Pete Dunn's mouthpiece, put a crowbar against his mouth, and then DDT'd him off the steel cage. That was crazy. That was really crazy. But yeah, there was a lot of great spots. You saw Ciampa and Gargano teamwork, DIY style on some offense, and it was really cool. There was a moment where Gargano sacrificed himself, where Tommaso Ciampa was able to do the running knee on Carmelo Hayes with Johnny Gargano. Was going to finish off Carmelo Hayes and was going to hit him with the fairy tale ending, but then before he could do it, he got speared into a table by Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker ended up hitting his finisher, that Gorilla Press Slam, and was able to get the victory. The 1-2-3, he pins Tommaso Ciampa, and Team 2.0 wins the War Game match. So, I don't know, throughout the night, especially in a backstage segment, they were pretty much kind of hinting that this would be Johnny Gargano's last match, supposedly. And I mean, all the signs are there. The backstage segment, the entrance music, going back to Rebel Heart, the DIY mini reunion, you know what I mean? So, all the signs were there. The signs were there. So, but this is the era of 2.0, the black and gold OGs lost. So, as this gets ready for the new year, this is the transition, I guess. So, congratulations to Braun Breaker, Grayson Waller, Carmelo Hayes, and Tony D'Angelo. Team 2.0. But overall, this was a pretty good pay-per-view. This was good. I mean, I always usually enjoy War Games. The War Games matches were good, and like I said, it'll be interesting to see what they do with New Year's Evil coming up. Because I mean, NXT 2.0 is starting to get on the decline. I feel like it's on life support, but every now and then they'll do a little something something. We're also going to find out who this shaman is that MSK's been chasing after, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that. But yeah, this was a pretty good War Games. I like I said, the tag team title match was better than I thought it was going to be. Really the only match I didn't care for was the Cruiserweight title match. I really didn't care for it at all. So, but that's pretty much all that I have. Let me know what y'all think. What did y'all think about this year's War Games? What did you think of the matches? Did you thought the show was good, bad? Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification button so you can catch every video. And I hope y'all enjoyed. This is Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram signing off for this episode of Pro Wrestling Talk. Hope everybody has a blessed week. I will see y'all very soon. Take care. Good night, everybody.